So the year 2019 is wrapping up, and it's been a really good year for the Nintendo Switch. A lot of big games have made their way over. I've been playing a ton of great games on the Switch, and 2019 looks really promising. I cannot wait for Trials of Mana. Roll Company's been looking pretty good, even though that is high res Dark Berry. But anyway, besides the point, I just want to give you guys a list of all the games that I've played out of 2019, some of my favorites. It's not really going to include a lot of the no-brainers, like, your Luigi's Mansions, even last year Smash Bros was not on my list, but I mean, come on now, Smash Bros. So without further ado, guys, go ahead and sit tight, get some popcorn ready for this review, and let's go ahead and jump right into it.
You know how much I love that Nintendo Switch!
What's going on, Switch fam? It is your boy QKG, and today we're going to talk about my top games of 2019. These are all games that I have played a ton of, and some of these games, like I said, are not your major games. I want to shed some light on some of the games that I really enjoy that were not really looked upon in a certain light of the Luigi's Mansions, the Astral Chain, so on and so forth. So the first game on the list is going to be a game that was on my radar when I saw the trailers, but caught me by surprise when I heard it was coming out on Switch, which is The Sinking City. This game is going to be on that Lovecraft, Cthulhu lore that I was actually very new to. I knew nothing of it. I just knew it was some squid monster that looked creepy, but all nonetheless, the game was actually very intriguing when it had its expansive dialogue tree. Combat was pretty nice. Decent weapons. Now, there wasn't a ton of weapons, but it felt like it was a nice right amount. So overall, the game just caught me by surprise. I did not expect it to be that great, but if you have not played The Sinking City, if you catch it on a sale, if you're spared to drop the 40-50 bones on it, by all means catch it on sale and definitely give it a try. So the next game on the list is a game that I had to unfortunately get because I got burned by a different game, but really enjoyed, which was actually Dead by Daylight. And Dead by Daylight I do own on PC. I played it in its early access stage when it was really rough. And then to see the Switch port come out, I was actually pretty surprised at all the changes that they made, all the different killers that they put in the game, and just all the different elements that were definitely not there. So Dead by Daylight definitely played pretty well. I will say there was definitely some bugs early on, but it was a game I really enjoyed. I don't know if I enjoyed it just because I played it around Halloween time, but then again, I ended up playing it, picking it back up a little while ago, and it definitely was still fun. So Dead by Daylight was definitely a game I really enjoyed. If you're definitely wanting to drop the 40 bones on the game, by all means do so, but if you're looking for a price drop or any type of sale, I'd highly recommend it if you want to pick it up for around 20 bucks or so. The next game on the list is a game that just looks so weird, but I liked it so much, which is the Metroidvania Blasphemous. And Blasphemous was a game to where you played as the penitent one, to where he was kind of like your voiceless protagonist in the game, but you kind of knew he was doing it all for the greater good. But the game is just so gruesome and bloody and gothic, and I just like all of it. The game is just so fun to play, and then the game is like $25 too. Like, the game is mad affordable. So if you're looking for a good 2D action platformer Metroidvania style game, that is a game right up your alley. If you like all that bloody, nice, creepy goodness, the game is the right game for you. Next game on the list, or I should say games, just because it's actually appeared on one of my lists before, but just because the game is just mad affordable and just really good. It's actually the Doom series, excluding the remake that they did in 2016, which is going to be Doom 1, 2, and 3. And each one of those games are super affordable and amazingly fun. I don't even know if that's a word, but I had to use it because I had so much fun with it. Now, the Doom series, I have played all the original ones, but even if you're someone who never really got to experience them back then, even if you were to jump into them, even though it's definitely a very dated game, for some reason just has a certain charm to it, to where it's always good to come back to. And then Doom 3 went completely Resident Evil on us and gave us that nice little Dead Space type of survival horror that the other ones did not. So that added a whole new element to it and just made that game one of my favorites. So all in all, the Doom series, whether it's 1, 2, or 3, the first two are both $5, and then 3 is $10. I mean, that's super crazy. So especially around this time, but the holidays, that may be a game that you want to look into. The next game on the list is a game I have a lot of history with. I have played every single game except for one of them, and that's Special Forces, and that is actually going to be MK11 for Nintendo Switch, mainly just because of the fact that Mortal Kombat has always provided quality except for that one game. But overall, the games have been absolutely a blast to play. I mean, all the blood and gore, they've all improved over time. And then with this game coming out, being a big surprise for Switch players, because as soon as I seen the game, I was like, oh, this is going to be some I can't even say the word, but all in all, come and see how the game runs on Switch. It caught me by surprise, even though you can see what the downgrades are clearly, but as soon as you get into combat, it's just full 60 frames. So if you're someone who are one of those pro fighting game players and you want something on the go, if you just want to pop your bring your Switch somewhere and give somebody the hands, I mean, that game is definitely perfect, because even the combat is 60 FPS. Even though early on the game did have its issues with the crypt, the game definitely had a lot of polish here and there, and it gets all of the updates on time, which I like. We don't have to wait. We don't have to wait a million years to get it. All the updates come out on time. So if you're someone who wants to play Mortal Kombat, it was recently 50% off, but that game usually goes on sale quite often. So if you're someone who doesn't want to pay the full price for it, by all means, wait for it to go on sale and definitely pick it up. Next game on the list is a game that was not favored by many, but I actually really enjoyed it, which is actually Pokemon Sword and Shield. And I do have my gripes about the game. I really wish there was definitely some type of voice acting. I wish that they did the wild area maybe a little bit different, but I did enjoy the wild area a lot. And then the max raids, I just wish there was somewhat more variety, because it always seemed like I got the exact same ones, especially when I threw the Witch and Star in there. But when it comes down to the way the story was delivered, the characters, I really enjoyed Hob. I enjoyed Leon. I even enjoyed Team Yale as well too. I enjoyed just about everything within the game. The starters, at first I was like, I don't like this water starter, but then as soon as I got Snipe Shot, I was like, this dude is the business. I really enjoyed the game a lot, even though a lot of people had its issues with it. But definitely, if you're one of the people who had your issues with it, I'm pretty sure you're not going to pick the game up. But if you're somebody who has played Pokemon in the past and you definitely want to give one a shot, I would recommend for the game to go on sale. But if you're someone who likes the older style Pokemons and does not mind that it's more traditional, you'll actually enjoy it a lot more. The next game on the list that your boy has also really enjoyed came out very recently, and I actually covered it, which is actually Dauntless. And Dauntless was a game that I played on PC with the homie 4 Wheels and a mic. Shout out to you, Dom. But the game coming out on Switch, even though it had its issues with the loading area, combat was still buttery smooth. I still had a fun time with the combat. I mean, I don't even know if you can hear the controller that I'm playing right now, but nonetheless, the game was just a blast to play. I love the overall environment of the game, even though it has kind of like that Fortnite type of art style, but it's still a little different. But even the behemoths of the game look very, very terrifying. Like even the Strike, even though it's like an owl, but he got hands, it's weird, man. The game just has a certain charm to it. I love everything about the game. The game's just been a blast to play, and it's free to play. You ain't gotta buy nothing. So if Dauntless is something to try, I mean, it's free to play. So the next game on the list is a game that I honestly didn't expect to like so much. Actually, I just lied. I knew when I seen the trailers this game was fire, and that's actually Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. Mainly because, as of right now, it is even crossplay, and if you're somebody who likes the Marvel vs. Capcom style of fighting games, this game was even developed by a pro fighting game player. So, with mechanics in mind, and then also did a lot of fan service by bringing a lot of the original Rangers from the series to actually do voice acting. Even the homie Dan Southworth, the Quantum Ranger, is probably one of the most detailed characters I have played in a fighting game yet. And I mean, it's Virgil too at the same time. Like come on now. The next game on the list is a game that is a no-brainer for me, but it's actually not a first-party Switch game. It's actually a port. I had to put it on this list just because the game is almost perfect. It's literally The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3, if I can't sit here and explain the whole lore of The Witcher for you, but I can tell you this. Like, all right, hold up. All right, can you hear me? All right, you can hear me. The Witcher 3, literally, won almost like 500 awards. And I'm not just saying that just because. The game is so fire. I can't explain it any other way. The Witcher 3, if you have not played it yet, don't even wait for it to go on sale. If you have not played The Witcher 3 yet, right at this moment, just go on to eShop right now, dump $60. I don't care if you got bills coming up. I don't care if you're about to order some Wendy's with that on DoorDash. Whatever you got to do, pick that game up. So we are at the final game on my list, and mainly just because this is a kind of games of the year, I have to put it here, and this is officially my game of the year because all the great games have already came out. We're literally a few days away from the new year, and that game, you guys probably already know, is Astral Chain. And there's so many ways I can just describe how great this game is. just off of the engine, the way the game was developed, the combat, the story, the upgrades, just the overall freedom they give you to just beat anything's ass in the game is just unlike anything I've played. And I love a lot of hack and slash games. I absolutely love the Devil May Cry series. I love anything Platinum Games has put out. I played just about everything they have made, and this has to be one of the best games that they have ever made. So if you have never played Astral Chain yet, this is a must play. I don't even know if I've ever seen this game on sale. That's how great this game is. But nonetheless, even if it's not on sale, if you see it somewhere, anything like that, I assure you, if you like anything, not even just anime culture, if you just like badass, flashy combat, this is the perfect game for you. And that literally wraps all of 2019 for the Nintendo Switch. So Game of the Year is going to go to Astral Chain because it was just so great. And when I played that game from start to finish, I enjoyed every single minute of it. There was not anything I did not like. Even when you actually have to be a police officer in the game, I enjoyed every last minute of that game. So that concludes my 2019 list of just the best games that I really enjoyed throughout this year. Some games that maybe didn't get enough attention, or some games that possibly you may not have played, may not have been on other people's lists. Looking at this list is probably maybe the same as some other people's, but the games that I've played throughout 2019 have all been great. Nintendo has been pushing the Nintendo Switch something crazy, and I've been liking this. I've been loving all the support that's been coming to it. So, and 2019 was actually the year my channel actually got a little bit more exposure. So it was actually a pretty decent year. And I would like to thank everybody for watching this video. And if you're new to the channel, if you made it all the way to the end of it, definitely make sure you swing over to my Discord server. I always make sure I chop it up with you guys when I have a chance. I always try to make sure I check in there, see what's going on. And the community in here, I have to say, I have seen some communities. Trust me, I play League of Legends, but you guys have been so nice. You guys have been so nice to every single person that has come into there. You guys make sure you greet them. Y'all greet them before I do, but y'all have been just so nice to everybody. Y'all guys don't fight. You guys don't argue. You guys are so respectful and so nice. I just love every single one of you, and I want to make sure I can do more for you guys in 2020. So thank you so much for watching this video, and this is your boy QKG, and Happy New Year. Peace out.